In the beginning of the story, we see a world named Draenor, where monsters named Orcs used to live. Just like humans, these Orcs also had different clans, and every clan had its own chieftain. The chieftain of the Frostwolf clan was Durotan, and his wife was pregnant, who was going to give birth to her child very soon. All the clans of Orcs were happy in their world, but now everything was going to change. A chieftain named Gul'dan had learned green magic, which was an extremely dangerous and black magic. To acquire this power, sacrifice of living creatures had to be given. Gul'dan wanted to rule over the whole world. Therefore, he sacrificed countless creatures around him and became very powerful. But his hunger did not satisfy right here. He wanted to become the most powerful. He joined all the clans of Orcs with him and made a plan to attack the world of humans. To step into another world, Gul'dan had to open a portal, but he did not have the power to keep it open for long. That is why he mercilessly sacrifices the captive creatures named Draenei, and with the help of the power got from their souls, opens the portal. Taking his most powerful partners, he enters the world of humans named Azeroth. Durotan had also come with Gul'dan, but he did not want to leave his wife alone. Therefore, secretly from everyone, he brought her also along with him. As soon as reaching Azeroth, Durotan's wife's pain started. Seeing this, Gul'dan's remaining partners started getting furious at Durotan. Just then, Durotan's wife gives birth to a child, but that child was born dead. Gul'dan, taking out the soul of a deer, pulled it inside himself, then put that same magical energy into Durotan's son's body. The child becomes alive though, but due to the black magic, his color becomes green. Here, on the other hand, at a place named Ironforge, Lothar was present, who was the main commander of Azeroth's army. He had come there to the dwarf blacksmiths to take weapons. There, a dwarf blacksmith showed Lothar a special kind of gun, which he had prepared himself with his own hands. Just then, Lothar gets the news that many soldiers of his army have been killed. Lothar immediately reaches Stormwind. There, he finds out that an unknown man is examining the corpses of the dead soldiers. Lothar gets suspicious, and he catches that man. That man was actually a magician, whose name was Khadgar. He was a boy run away from the school teaching magic. Khadgar had found out that people of another world coming here are killing humans, and they are using green magic. That is why he had come to see those corpses. Khadgar showed the effect of that green magic in the body of a dead soldier, seeing which Lothar got trust on him. After this, they both go to the king. Khadgar tells the king everything about those unknown people and their dangerous magic. The king understands that the danger is very big. The king, giving a ring of his, asks Lothar and Khadgar to go to the Guardian. Actually, to save this world, there used to be a Guardian, who studying magic had become a very big magician. Now Lothar and Khadgar, sitting on a bird, go to meet Medivh. Medivh only was the real guardian of the world of humans. There were lots of books of magic there, and Khadgar liked reading books very much. Therefore, he starts roaming in the library there. Just then, Khadgar sees a shadow which suddenly entered inside a book. Khadgar secretly hides that book in his bag. On the other hand, Lothar gives the king's ring to Medivh and asks him to go along with him for help. Medivh agrees, and those three, with the help of magic, reach straight to the king's palace. Medivh now wanted to find out those enemies. Therefore he, along with Khadgar and Lothar, sets out towards the forest. As soon as reaching there, they see dead people all around. Reaching there, Medivh stops and starts examining those corpses. Just then, suddenly some orcs attack them. Durotan was also right there, and he also pounces on the humans. A fierce fight starts from both sides, but these creatures were so powerful that to defeat them was very difficult. Durotan attacks straight on Medivh and Khadgar, but Khadgar agilely makes a shield of his magic, due to which Durotan's strike goes empty. Medivh, using his magical powers, starts finishing the green magic spread there. The effect of Medivh's magic was so fast that all those orcs inside whom that black magic of Gul'dan was, they all of them get killed right there. Seeing their partners dying like this, the remaining orcs run away from there. Among the fleeing ones, Durotan and his partner Orgrim were also included. While running, Durotan's eyes fall on a captive girl who was kept tied with chains. Durotan, taking pity, breaks her chains, but as soon as getting free, she tries to run away from there. Unfortunately, she straight goes reaching near Khadgar, and Khadgar catches her with his magic. That captive girl's name was Garona, who was half human and half orc. Now all the people making Garona captive bring her straight to Stormwind. Garona could understand the language of all of them. She told everyone that Gul'dan had kept her captive, and there only she had learned their language from other human captives. She warns everyone that Orcs' own world has been destroyed, and now they have come to snatch your world. Garona tells that Gul'dan, by killing humans, wants to make a giant portal from their lives, so that his remaining people can also come here and rule over the whole world. On the other hand, Durotan also, now in his mind, had started seeing Gul'dan with a gaze of hatred. He remembers that earlier how beautiful their world was, but ever since Gul'dan has started green magic, since then their land started becoming barren, and everything started dying. Now Durotan had understood that their world has been ruined by no one else, but by this very black magic of Gul'dan. Durotan now in his mind makes a firm intention to rebel against Gul'dan. There in Stormwind Garona was locked in jail. Just then, the queen, who was Lothar's sister, brings some warm clothes to Garona because it was very cold there. The queen talks lovingly with Garona and convinces her to help the humans. On the other hand, Khadgar was reading that book which he had stolen from the library. Reading it, he finds out a very big truth that for Gul'dan to come from his world to this world, some human of here also had helped in opening the way. Here Durotan explains to his special partner Orgrim that ever since Gul'dan has started ruling over them, since then only their world has been ruined. He reminds him that earlier, with how much fun they used to hunt and remain happy. Durotan says that we will have to stop Gul'dan in every condition, but Orgrim was not fully understanding his words yet. Garona now gets ready to help the humans. Next day, she takes Lothar and Khadgar to that place where Gul'dan had kept the human captives, and where the Orcs had put their camp. Lothar and Garona secretly are looking at the camp of those enemies, when just then suddenly, Durotan comes there. Durotan says to Garona that he is rebelling against Gul'dan, and for this he needs the company of humans. Garona had full trust on Durotan because he was a noble-hearted leader. Durotan says that he will meet them at the Black Hill. Garona going tells this thing to the king. The king also wanted to save his people, therefore they accept Garona's words. Before leaving, the queen gives a small knife to Garona, and says that this will always protect her. Garona becomes very happy getting that blade, and she feels that the queen trusts her a lot. At the decided time, Durotan and some of his trustworthy partners start waiting for the king at the Black Hill. The king also, with full preparation, taking Lothar and his army, reaches there. Medivh also from the top of the hill was keeping an eye on them all. Durotan meets the king and tells them the reality that whichever world Gul'dan steps into makes it barren with his black magic. Durotan says that I want to save both my clan and this world of yours from Gul'dan. He gives a big news that exactly 2 days later, Gul'dan, by sacrificing all the human captives, is going to open that big portal forever. Durotan explains to the king that if your army attacking Gul'dan distracts his attention, then my clan finding the opportunity will finish him forever. But Durotan's partner Orgrim had betrayed and told the whole plan to Gul'dan. Gul'dan had already hidden his fierce partners below the hill. Suddenly they all come outside and pounce on the king's army. Seeing the conditions worsening, Medivh, to save everyone, erects a magical wall of lightning. But in this chaos, Lothar's son is left on the other side of that wall only, and the enemies catch him. Lothar, like crazy, asks Medivh to remove the wall, but Medivh does not do so. Lothar tries a lot to cross that magical wall, but he is not able to cross it. Right in front of his eyes, the enemies kill his son. Lothar breaks down badly, and he starts considering Medivh responsible for his son's death. Because of that magical wall, the king and the rest of the people are saved, but due to using such a big power, Medivh becomes very weak. Garona and Khadgar, supporting him, take him to Karajan and lay him in a magical waterfall. Just then, Khadgar's eyes fall on Medivh's eyes, which had become completely green. Khadgar understands that that same demonic green magic has entered inside Medivh, and this only is that man who had given Gul'dan the way to come here. On the other hand, Gul'dan, filled with anger, gives an order that every single orc of Durotan's clan be finished. Seeing this, Orgrim realizes his mistake. He secretly makes Durotan's wife Draika and her child run away from there. Draika runs, holding her child to her chest, but an enemy does not leave her chase. Seeing her death near Draika, hands over her child's basket to the flowing river and starts fighting that enemy alone. In this bloody fight, both of them are killed, and the innocent child flows away with the waves. Here, Khadgar immediately reaches the School of Magicians and tells the Grand Masters there that the guardian Medivh has now completely come under the control of that black magic. Now Khadgar asks his master about Elodie because he had read about her in the books. The master takes him to Elodie. Actually, Elodie was a guardian who was imprisoned inside a mysterious black box for years. As soon as Khadgar reaches near, the door of that box opens on its own, seeing which the master is left stunned because this had never happened before. Khadgar goes inside where he finds Elodie. She tells him that the guardian Medivh has now completely become a demon, and green magic has captured entered his mind. She warns that if he is not stopped now, then he will destroy the whole world. Khadgar, panicking, says that, "How can I fight him?" Then Elodie explains to him that you together with your friends can defeat him. Saying this much, she disappears. On the other hand, Medivh had now completely become under the control of that black magic. He starts helping Gul'dan so that the portal could open. His real plan was this, that all the orcs come here, and then he, killing everyone, snatches their power and becomes the most powerful. Medivh again goes to the king and instigates him that you should attack the enemy's camp. He says that I, with my power, will open a portal through which you will be able to send all the human captives safely to the city. But Lothar did not have even a little trust on Medivh's words. He had understood that Medivh is betraying, and behind it is some deep trick of his. Anyway, Lothar considered him only responsible for his son's death. That is why, in anger, Lothar clashes with Medivh right there. Seeing all this, the king gets very angry, and he gives an order to lock Lothar in jail. The king does not take him along with him on the war either. On the other hand, in the enemy's camp, Gul'dan had imprisoned Durotan, but now Orgrim was having a lot of regret on his betrayal, because due to him, many innocent people of his clan were killed. That is why Orgrim secretly frees Durotan. Durotan now wanted to tell everyone this truth, that Gul'dan is a demon. He also wanted to show everyone this, that Gul'dan has now forgotten the old rules of the clan too. That is why Durotan, going straight in front of Gul'dan, gives him a challenge of a fight. According to the rule of the clan, if one chieftain challenges another, then he has to fight only. Now a tremendous competition starts between Gul'dan and Durotan, and all the rest of the people are watching them. Gul'dan was very powerful, but Durotan gives him a tough competition. There, Gul'dan had to open the portal quickly too. That is why he starts cheating in the middle of the fight. He, with his magic, starts pulling Durotan's life. The rest of the people forbid him from doing so, because this was against the rules. But Gul'dan does not listen to anyone. He absorbs all the power of Durotan and kills him. Now the reality of Gul'dan had come in front of everyone's eyes. Orgrim instigates everyone against Gul'dan, but Gul'dan, with his black powers, kills Orgrim's partners, torturing them repeatedly. Seeing this terrifying sight, the rest all get scared and, being forced, get ready to support Gul'dan. Just then, the king, taking his army, reaches there and attacks. Here, Gul'dan, by sacrificing the humans, opens that big portal, and Medivh also starts helping him. As soon as the portal opens, new enemies and thousands of numbers from that world start coming here. On the other hand, Khadgar, secretly reaching the jail, gets Lothar freed and tells him the whole truth of Medivh's betrayal. They both immediately reach that old place where Medivh was, but reaching there, their senses fly away. Medivh had now become half human and half demon. They try to stop him, but Medivh, with magic, breathes life into an effigy of clay and leaves it to fight them. That magical effigy pounces on Lothar and Khadgar. It was so powerful that these two, to save their lives, have to run here and there. Here Medivh's power was increasing, and until he is not stopped, till then that portal does not close. Khadgar knew this thing very well. Therefore, he, joining with Lothar, starts competing with that effigy. During the fight, by a forceful strike of the effigy, Khadgar faints. But Lothar does not lose courage. He, making a noose of a strong rope, cuts the mouth of that clay effigy, due to which its eyes get separated from the body, and it stops seeing. As soon as getting the opportunity, Lothar brings Khadgar to consciousness and asks him to stop Medivh. Lothar himself also pounces towards Medivh, but Medivh, catching his neck, throws him far. Just then, Khadgar, with his magic, makes a small portal in the air, which opens exactly above Medivh. He, pulling that heavy effigy with magic through that portal, drops it straight above Medivh. Medivh gets pressed under that heavy effigy, and chants stop coming out from his mouth. Its effect is this, that big portal also slowly starts closing. But meanwhile, Khadgar falls into that magical waterfall, and his eyes also start becoming green. That dangerous green magic tries to capture Khadgar's mind, but Khadgar does not give up. He, gathering full courage, puts a hand on Medivh's head, and pulling all the black magic inside him, makes him free. Khadgar takes that poison out from his body too, and now both become fine. Medivh now realizes his mistake, and he, while dying with his remaining power, opens a new way for Stormwind City. Seeing this, the king becomes very happy, because now they could send all the captives safely to the city. The king's soldiers immediately get to work, and one by one start sending all the innocent people to the city. Meanwhile, due to wounds and the burden of that heavy effigy, Medivh dies right there. Just then, that magical portal closes, and the king, Garona, and the rest of the soldiers get stuck right there among the enemies. From all around, the orcs surround them, and Blackhand moves forward to kill the king. The king understands that now to escape is difficult, Therefore he says to Garona that, "You kill me so that you can win the trust of all of them and save the lives of the rest of the humans." Garona did not want to do so, but when Blackhand came absolutely near, then no other way was left with her. She killed the king with that same knife given by the queen. Seeing this, all the orcs started giving respect to Garona, and picking her up brought her to Gul'dan. When Gul'dan found out that Garona has killed the king, then he included her in his team, and now everyone started obeying her words. The orcs were just celebrating the joy of their victory when just then, Lothar, sitting on his giant bird, reaches there. He, getting down, starts killing the enemies, and picking up the king's body, puts it on his bird. But while running, Blackhand, catching the bird's leg, drops it down, due to which Lothar, also falling down, faints. When Lothar regains consciousness, then he finds himself alone among hundreds of enemies. Just then, Blackhand gives him a challenge of a fight. Lothar wanted exactly this because he had to take the revenge of his son's death. The competition starts between the two, and Lothar agilely in a single strike cuts Blackhand from the middle and inserting the sword into his back finishes him. Lothar had taken his revenge. Gul'dan angrily asks his people to kill Lothar, but no one listens to his words because according to the rule of the clan, Lothar had won the fight with full honesty and he was worthy of respect. Gul'dan himself moves forward to kill him, but Garona stops him and says that if you broke the rule, then no one will consider you their leader. After this, Lothar, taking the king's body, comes to Stormwind, where his last rites are done, and people choose Lothar as their new leader. On the other hand, Orgrim breaks a tooth of his dead friend Duratan, so that he can give it to his child, and Duratan's memory always remains along. In the end, we see that Duratan's child was flowing in the river. Just then the eyes of some people fall on him. They, saving him, hand him over in safe hands. Along with this, the story ends right here. How did you like the video? Definitely tell in the comments, and do not forget to subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video. Until then, goodbye.